This is an update to the last video I did a couple hours ago. I decided to take that plate I had and measure it out and cut it, well, pretty well to size so that I could have my driver board on the same plate. Well, it's not the same plate, it's a separate plate, but it's joined to that plate. I just put a couple self-tapping screws, self-drilling, self-tapping screws in there, and I just threw a tie wrap around there to hold the cable coming from the stepper motor. So yeah, I have it now so that it's all lined up. One of the guys asked how if it's going in one direction they spin in different directions. Well, if you look, one of your belts is going this way, and if you look in there, one of the belts is crossed. So when you cross it, it goes in the opposite direction. So there's the answer to that question right there. And if you ask me what that thing there is for, I really don't know. It almost looks like it's trying to separate where the belt goes, and it looks like it's got a little roller on it. Maybe that's supposed to be on the roller. If I can get over there. It almost looks like it's supposed to be on the roller, but boys, that's an awful tight. I don't know. Let's give her a try, see how it works. Yeah, I just turn on the power supply. It takes a couple seconds there for it to come up. Then the driver board kicks, and let's see, we'll turn it on. Well, she's snapping. I can hear it snapping. Yeah, well, I guess it's keeping it away from rubbing on the other belt. I'm not sure if that would have been a real big deal, but that looks like what it was doing. Okay. Boys, that makes an awful lot. Why is that vibrating so bad now? Yeah, I guess now this thing's vibrating. Well, I'm going to have to mount that down so it's not vibrating, I guess, because that makes a fair amount of noise. Okay, so I guess I really didn't explain very well. Actually, I don't really like that. Just looking at it right now, it's almost pulling it off that pulley. I really don't understand why that's on there. I almost think I should just take that roller part out and just let it be inside there. But anyhow, I'll deal with that another time. So like I say, I don't know if I really explained why I want to install the stepper motor on this. With a driver, you can control the steps, I think 400 steps, and then 800, 1600, you know, and this is 16, well, let's just go at 400 at first. That's 400 steps for one revolution. So the motor has to get 400 pulses just to make one revolution. In other words, 400 hertz just to do one revolution. So it's very easy to control the speed of a stepper motor. Very easy. You can, if you have a board like this that you only have 3 settings, slow, medium, and high frequency, and the frequency doesn't go all the way down to 0, and obviously I forget what I have this set for, but it's somewhere like 800, I think I have it set for. But even at the lowest setting, it's still turning. It's still turning at a fairly good speed. Like, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it'll make one revolution in, say, 4 seconds. So that's at the lowest setting. So if I want even lower than that, well, I can either go down to the lower setting of the pulse width modulator, or I can change the settings of the driver and make it more steps. So it would take more steps to accomplish a revolution. So there's so much more you can do with the stepper motor. Whereas, as before, I said with a DC motor, well, a DC motor is supposed to be rated for a certain voltage. If it's say it's a 9 volt motor, it's rated for that voltage. And when you have a rheostat hooked up to it and you're slowing the motor down, well, you're actually lowering the voltage, which is putting more current on the windings, and that's how you can damage your motor. Now, you can also take a DC motor and have reducing gears, and hopefully your DC motor will be at full rated voltage and full rated speed, and you will have figured out with the gear ratio what size pulley that you're going to put on. But then you're limited pretty well to one speed, if you understand what I'm trying to say. Then you're limited to one speed, and if you lower the voltage, you run into the same problem I just mentioned earlier. So you can lower the voltage and the motor will go slower, but it also won't have the rated torque. So there's, how you say, there's not standoffs, there's compromises that you would make with a DC motor. And I thought about this for a while before I actually did build this, and I decided that a stepper motor was the right type of motor to incorporate in this situation, because to be honest with you, if you own a Wimshurst machine, you'll notice that it's fairly hard to turn this. Like, a man can turn it no problem at all, but there's a fair amount of torque that you have to actually put on the shaft in order to move the Wimshurst machine. There's a fair amount of torque. that you have to put on it in order to move it. So I took all that into consideration when I decide to use a stepper motor to run this Wimhurst. I'm sorry this is too long. Everybody have a great day. Cheers.